For those who aren't aware, Images of Distinction closes today at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And everyone asked, so we did listen, and we have upped it to 20 images that you can submit if you would like. So you still have time to get those images in if you haven't, and get that opportunity not only to earn points toward your photo artistry medallion, but also get that incredible review the next day on your images for upcoming competitions. The discounted price for renewing your ASP membership ends February 15th. So you know you want to do it. You don't want to miss out on anything. And while you're doing that, if you haven't, which if you're renewing it, you haven't, go ahead and click that auto renew button. I love not having to worry about it. It just happens without me having to take any action. Our next Zoom is going to be February 16th, and it's Webster Wright. He's going to tell us how he uses the military system to photograph weddings so that they go off automatically. There's always a hitch, but you're well prepared for them because you have a system in place. So I think that's going to be a great program. It will be at 12 p.m. Central Time. On the 23rd at 6 p.m., we have our two new EA associate degrees, Chris Paulus and Kelly Schneider, who are going to tell us all about the educational associate degree. And it's going to be really good. Lots of nuts and bolts information. They'll talk a little bit about their programs. If you missed it, Kelly Schneider did a Zoom just recently on his paper, and what he did for his EA degree is fascinating, and you can access that in our library. And Chris Paulus is scheduled to come up soon, and he will share his paper as well. So keep an eye out for those. On the 2nd, our very own Tony Johnson Harriman is going to share The Heart of an Artist, and that will be at 12 p.m. Central Time. If you missed Christy Steve's Zoom program, why I failed the fellowship and how I succeeded, it was very powerful. Lots of information about what you need to do, what you perhaps might want to change if you're thinking about it. Very inspirational, and we actually put that on the public side of our YouTube channel. So if you know anybody you think might be interested, tell them just to go look at ASP's public YouTube channel, and they can access that as well. So as you see, lots of exciting things going on. We have an amazing board, amazing super chairs, committee chairs. It is a huge village that works to make all this happen, and it's just a joy to be a part of it. Our incoming board is here, and Ella's going to go ahead and take over the Zoom, and she will introduce everybody. And take it away, Miss Ella.
Thank you so much, Eileen. And Eileen is joining the executive board of ASP this year as our new secretary treasurer. So we'll go right down the list. We'll get to her in a minute, but I will be the incoming chairman of the board. I am transitioning away from editorship of the magazine, and Christy Steves will be helping me this year and taking that over. And I know she's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be really great to have her. And Shauna Hinkle, who's here, is our copywriter. She proofs everything for us, edits it. And Stephanie Milner, who isn't here quite now, I think she's probably sleeping because she lives in Albania right now. She does our page layout. So again, we've got a great village here. I work on several other committees as well and kind of oversee things. And I'm delighted to be handing the reins over to Karen Nakamura as president as of March 1st. Karen unfortunately had a family medical emergency, so she is not able to join us today. But the president of ASP basically watches over everybody, is the last word if a decision needs to be made, and she's on every committee and by virtue of her presidency, and she will be in charge of the whole rigmarole next year as we go into imaging and late night lounge and Images of Distinction and all the great things we're doing. So that's about me. I am from Massachusetts. My credential list is Master Photographer, Master Artist, Craftsman, CPP, Fellow of ASP, and Educational Associate of ASP. So that is me in short. So I'm going to ask John Harrell, who is our incoming president-elect, to introduce himself and talk about his name, credentials, where he's located, a little bit about his past board experience, which I forgot to mention. I've been on 6 different boards, 3 of them photography organization boards. I've headed up 3 of the boards I've been on eventually. Not that I meant to, I just happened to get put in that spot. And by far, this is the most proactive, absolutely copacetic, wonderful, hardworking board I've ever been on. So John, our president-elect, let's hear from you.
I will second that. This is a fabulous board to work with and a fabulous organization to be a part of. I am a master photographer, photographic craftsman, CPP. I guess that's the end of my PPA and ASP credentials. I'm also a fellow of the Professional Photographers of South Carolina. I'm the treasurer of the Professional Photographers of South Carolina and their print competition chairman. In ASP, I am the board liaison and chairman of the website committee. I'm on the IOD committee. I'm the board liaison for the ambassador committee. I'm co-chair of the service points committee. I've lost track. There are more. It just seems like, you know, there are a ton of things to do, and it's really been a pleasure working with everybody here. I'm kind of losing track. I've been an ASP member for, I think, 6 years now. So, you know, that's who I am. I'm also the unusual one here in that I'll say I'm beginning another transition. I've done wildlife and landscape and nature photography for several years. And while I'm not stopping that, I'm adding some motorsports photography. As many of you know, I bought a Porsche race car last year and got licensed to race. So I'm doing a few races this year, but I'm going to start doing some artistic motorsports portraits that it seems that nobody else out there does. So I have a new vision and an idea on something to do.
Awesome. Hey, John, can you tell us a little bit about your pre-photographer background? Because I think that's pretty relevant to what you're doing.
Yes. My education is, I've got a chemical engineering degree, and I worked in the chemical industry and a couple of years in the pharmaceutical industry as an engineer. And then, as they say, I don't know whether I was promoted or demoted, but I ended up on the business side. And so I was a business manager, senior business manager, business development manager. You know, I worked for 20 years in the corporate world, you know, handling major customers and whatnot. Following that, I started a business that sold business and accounting systems. I sold the software. In some cases, I sold hardware. I trained people how to use the system and supported it. So that was kind of another career, and that went on for about 12 years. And then I became a financial planner. A friend of mine from the chemical days, you know, was doing that, and he thought I would really enjoy that. And so I did that for a few years until I decided to do a financial plan on me, and the results said you can retire. So I retired from financial planning, but that was the beginning of my professional photography career. So that's been ongoing ever since. And you know, retirement sounds nice, but it just doesn't seem to fit my life very well.
Awesome. Thanks, John. That's really great. And And John Powers is our incoming vice president. John comes to us from the military background, so he has a lot of experience. Colonel, right, John?
Right.
Retired colonel. So let's tell us a little bit about yourself, John.
I'm currently the secretary treasurer, which I'll be handing off those duties to Eileen very shortly, which will be fun. And as I said, coming in as the vice president, my job will be to be at the beck and call of the president and to help her and assist her in any and all ways that she requires and requests. So that will be a duty that I am looking forward to. One of my activities right now that I'm very involved with is our state rep program, running that. I'm both the liaison and the chairman, and looking for somebody to take over the chair of that. I would like to train somebody to be the chair of the state rep program for ASP. We've built it up and it's functioning great, but to keep it running, I need somebody who's got a lot of initiative, energy, and time. And I can guarantee you we'll have a great time and we'll have a lot of fun together. So there you go.
So John, where are you located?
Oh, I'm in the Los Angeles area, keeping an eye on Mel.
Okay. And what was your job in the military?
Just a soldier.
Just a soldier. Okay, thank you very much. Eileen is our incoming secretary treasurer. Welcome, Eileen.
Had to undo my mute button. Hello, everybody. So I am from the Houston area. I live in Baytown, which is 30 minutes due east of downtown Houston. So we can just pop in and out. I went to LSU and a longtime Louisiana person, although I've lived here in Texas for 41 years now. Was president of the Professional Photographers Guild of Houston and part of that board when we rebuilt that organization. I'm a fellow of PPGH and also a fellow of Texas Professional Photographers of America. I'm a master photographer, craftsman, and I have a CPP. I've been on the Board of Governors here for 2 years, and now I'm rolling onto the executive board, which is very exciting. I'm thinking backwards here. I did a lot of volunteer work. I did not work outside the home after we had children, did a lot of volunteer work in the community, and then sort of fell backwards into opening a portrait studio in 2005 when my kids were high school seniors, and did that for 12 years until my husband retired. So he used to travel a lot in the spring, and that's our crunch time. So it kept me busy, and it was a lot of fun. I love sales.
Awesome. And what jobs are you doing for ASP right now?
So I am the chairman of the Zoom programming, and also I handle the constant contact. So all those emails you're getting are coming from me, but please don't unsubscribe because we send important information out and we don't want you to miss out on anything. I also am involved with Heart and Soul and hospitality.
Awesome. Thank you, Eileen, and welcome to the executive board. I know you're going to be an awesome addition to that. So
thank you.
Terrific. Okay, we have 6 governors at ASP. I'm going to start with Christy Steves.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Christy.
Yes, I'll start off with, and I think the board will know why I'm saying this. I consider myself the class clown of the group. I like to laugh. Yeah. Hi, Kathy, by the way. I met Kathy Baker at Imaging this year, and she's already laughing and giggling. So when I was asked 2.5 years ago to come onto the board, my immediate response was, and I say this for a reason for all the new degree recipients joining us, my response was absolutely. And my reason for wanting to get on the board when I was asked was I get to meet new people and make new friends. And by getting involved in ASP, I've gotten to meet so many people, make some awesome friendships with a lot of people. And to me, this is what a lot of this is all about, is connecting. So I say that because the best way to get involved is to get on a committee, because you're going to meet other people And I had gotten on the marketing committee and got to know Ella a little bit through that. And that's, how I, was asked to come onto the board. And I love the connections. So I am the chairman of the marketing committee, and I do have an ad that I am creating, and I've already got 2 women. Moses, I'm looking at you. I don't know if you're a new degree recipient. I do need a man. And if you're willing to be photographed, I'm going to need to contact you or get your phone number. So anyway, you can be part of one of our marketing ads, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm stepping in to take over as chairman of the magazine. And I think Ella thinks that I'm a good fit because I was a journalist for 25 years. And I do write articles for the magazine because I like to write. So she thought it was a good fit for me to step in for that role as well. And I think marketing and the magazine kind of go hand in hand. And then I'm the board liaison for Images of Distinction, our photographic competition. And we are in the trenches right now getting ready. So it's a lot of work, before, during, and after. I had the last 2 years edited the award, the ceremony, and we found somebody, yay, who knows how to edit. So Danica Barreau from Ohio is taking over the editing duties because it takes about 3 weeks to get everything put together. So I guess my big thing is I've seen the importance and the value of getting involved. And that's pretty much what I, wanted to talk about through my involvement, my experience here. Because in getting to know all the board members, I feel like we're a family. And, getting to know our members as well. It's just the more people you get to know, the more you feel like you're part of the family. And it's really an awesome experience.
Hey, Christy, you've got some new initials, right?
Yes, I guess she wants me to talk about. So what was it? Was imaging 3 weeks ago, a month ago? I'm losing track of time.
Yeah.
I got to walk the stage with my sponsor, Nancy Bailey Pratt. I'm from Ohio. She's from Indiana. Nancy's one of 2 people that talked me into going for the fellowship. So, and it was my second attempt. And so I got the fellowship. And while I was at imaging, I'm all excited because I got the artist degree as well. And I am a PPA approved juror. So I got the artist degree mainly because I thought to be an effective juror, I need to get that degree to go through the process and learn what it's all about, creating artist images if I'm judging it. So, and I see Dennis Hammond, who's becoming my new mentor, whether he wants it or not. Dennis, I just entered last night my first ever landscape image in IOD, my first ever. I photograph people. So I went to Croatia with Dennis. He leads a group and he's going back, I think, in September. It's awesome, by the way. So I went to pick his brain and learn from him. Again, just trying to branch out a little bit. I'm trying to do some wildlife photography, but I'm really excited. And Dennis, I'm joking, I'm probably going to get a 76, but it's okay because that's how we learn, right? We all know that.
Exactly.
And then tying in with John Powers, with him being in the military, I'm a military brat. My dad was a career Air Force colonel. My brother, Air Force, and he's now a pilot. And I have a terrible fear of flying. And my dad and my brother can't talk me out of my fear of flying. I come from a family of pilots, the oddball, in the group. So anyway, I've lived all over the United States and I've made Ohio my home for the last 35 years.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. We've mentioned board liaisons a few times. So for those who don't know, the structure is such that we have 5 executive officers on the board and 6 governors, and all of us have board liaison positions pretty much. What that means is there's an intermediary between the rest of the board and the committees over which the liaison sees what's going on. There's just too much. We have 45 committees now, I believe. It's too much for any one person to keep track of. So rather than me as president having to check every single committee and what they're doing and if they're keeping up to date with what they need to be doing, which our committees are fantastic. They don't need a lot of babysitting usually. We have what's called board liaisons. They're not supposed to be doing all the work of the committee. They're just supposed to be an intermediary between the board and the committee. A lot of times that works out to be not much work. A lot of times it tends to be a little more work, right, Christy? Yeah, so, but it's really fun and it's really interesting. So I'm going to Bruce Bonet next, another ex-military career person and our parliamentarian. Hi, Bruce.
Hi. Yes, 20 years in the Air Force, primarily doing system engineering work, developing missile and satellite systems. So it's a rather interesting career there. And ended up after that, because of the threat of being killed by my wife, I didn't go back to work after I retired. I've worked at 2 different hospitals in their management of primarily the IT arena. So I'm also a computer nerd. And talking about my wife, we did survive. In fact, we just celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary in January.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you. I have the master's degree. I've been involved with a lot of different boards, both in the, of course, the military and the hospitals, but also I was the president of the Inland Empire Professional Photographers and Videographers here in Southern California. As Ella mentioned, I'm also the parliamentarian for the ASP, which means I try to keep everybody in line, provide the legal aspect of it. And associated with that, I'm also the chairman of the governing documents. So we take care of making sure that the Constitution, bylaws, and standing rules are kept up to date to meet the needs of the organization. And I'm also the thorn in the side of everybody because I'm also the chairman of the standing operating procedures, or SOPs as we call them, which helps document what we do as an organization at an individual level. So rather than having to repeat the continually reinvent the wheel every year, we're trying to get it so that we can improve every year rather than step back. I'm also on the website committee. In fact, I'll be going to my first meeting of that tomorrow morning, bright and early here. And let's see, is there anything else?
Where are you from, Bruce?
I'm in Southern California. I'm halfway between LA and Palm Springs.
Awesome.
And it's been strange because when in the Air Force, 16 years was in the same house. So
not bad. Thank you, Bruce. We're going to go to Chris Woolley next.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Chris Woolley from Spokane, Washington. I'm the baby of the group, social butterfly, and I love technology, whether it's audio, video stuff, sound mixing type things, live theater, all my passions and things that I definitely enjoy outside the photography world. Inside the photography world, I'm a commercial portrait photographer, so lots and lots of headshots, commercial branding, that sort of thing. So inside the PPA world, I'm Master Photographic Craftsman, a CPP, also a fellow of my state, a past president of my state. I just generally love helping others and being able to embrace their passions and kind of help elevate our industry. So I'm involved with the ambassador program here under the leadership of Miss Renee. Woot woot. Yeah. Kind of fun. So we get to be the outward appearance. I'm sure Renee will talk about what the ambassadors are when it's her turn to come up here. Also involved with the photography committee. I was your MC at the gala, and generally just like helping out with ASP. It's such a great way to connect with other members. I remember about 5 years ago when I first joined ASP, didn't know hardly anybody. I went to a board meeting because I was like, okay, it's the general membership meeting, so probably figure out what this is. Dennis Hammond was up there, and I was like, oh, a familiar face, okay. And everybody was just so welcoming, even though I didn't know anybody that was there. They were just all super nice. I was like, well, this is a pretty cool group of people. And then a year or two ago, I got invited to be a part of the board here, and the connections just keep on coming in. You just get to meet new people, have interesting conversations, and just form some lifelong friendships. So I'm definitely lucky to be a part of this group. And I think that the more you get involved, the more you get to know people and learn new things and expand your network. And it just grows and builds on itself. So very excited to be here.
And you're from Washington State, correct?
That's correct. Yes, Spokane, Washington.
Okay. And you did that very small, insignificant job of providing all the video and projection for us during the gala and late night lounge, right?
Oh, yeah. So I was part of the team that set that up. So trying to be smart with ASP's money. So we were investing in getting our own AV set up, and a couple of stumbling blocks, but we're learning on that, and having a cool system that'll allow us to reinvest the money that we were spending renting things and doing more programs and more opportunities for our members. So happy to be a part of that.
Totally sarcastic when I said small. That was a huge job, huge job. So thank you, Chris. Awesome. Sharon Lobel's up next.
Gonna unmute myself here. Well, first of all, I have to say, I am so honored to be part of this group of people. And I know we've all said that, but it is an amazing group of people, and I'm really honored to be here. So thank you for bringing me on. So I live in South Lake Tahoe, just on the side of a hill. And I was born and raised in Texas, and I was a dental hygienist, and then I gave that up and moved to California and dabbled in the television print industry for a while, several years. And then my former husband and I owned Franklin Covey Manufacturing Company. So if you remember all of the paper that we used to buy, and everybody did their manual input of daily planning and calendars and all that, well, we made your Franklin Covey day planner. We were the US manufacturer for that. Sold that, and then we started, it was real funny. I had part of my first desire was to be a fashion designer. And so part of my college degree was business and fashion merchandising. So after we sold that, I kind of said, well, you know what? I think I can go get an account with the Marmex group, because I knew one of the people that worked there. And I said, let's just start designing office stuff and whatever. And so he said, well, if you can get the account, then we'll figure it out. So I went down to Marmex Group in Los Angeles and met with the vice president of sales and laid out some designs and stuff for them. And they're like, hey, well, let's just give it a try. So we partnered with a factory in China, out in Guangzhou, China, which meant several trips to Asia. And I landed the account with them, and it ended up being more than what we thought. So we opened an office in Marina Bay, and we were the major designer and manufacturer for the Marmex Group, which is TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls. And I designed jewelry boxes and did planners and stuff like that, and leather placemats, home good, all that kind of stuff. And it ended up, we did the UK, Canada, Mexico, and the United States. So in between all of that, I started, of course, I always had a camera in my hand ever since I was probably 11, thanks to my mom, who I was the middle of 5 kids, and she seemed to manage to get a photo album for all of us. And so I always wanted, to do photography. And my dad said, you can't make a living at it. So I had to choose some other way of making a living for myself. So anyway, so one thing after another. And then in 2009, I joined PPLAC. And that's Professional Photographers of Los Angeles County, because I lived in Marina del Rey, California at the time. And stayed with them for many, many years, actually, until I moved up here. I'm still with them because Nevada does not have an affiliate. So I'm still with the Los Angeles County affiliate. And I served as president. I think I served every position on the Los Angeles County board except for, well, I don't know. Can you remember, Matt? I think I served on every position. I think I did. So, and that was a great learning experience. Again, you're building your genre of family and friends. So I only have my blood family. I have my photography family, and it extends way out to all over the world. And a couple of years ago, David Leneve came to me and says, hey, I'm a nature landscape wildlife photographer, and I was dabbling in doing tours locally and wanting to expand internationally. So I had done a trip to Africa, my second trip, with another person that's back east. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to start expanding this. So I started expanding my international photography tours in Africa and everywhere else in the United States. And then David Leneve, who owns California Center for Digital Arts, came to me and he says, hey, you know what? We're doing the same thing. Let's pull this together. And would you like to partner up with me? And you'll be one of my guides and teachers and all of that. So fast forward that to now, we have partnered and created photography adventures tours. So we not only do international travel, but we also do travel in the United States. And it doesn't have to just be a photographer. You can be a non-photographer and go. And so now my love for photography has just expanded. And I love taking people, whether they just ride in the back of the vehicle, the Jeep or whatever, and just take it all in. And they learn. And most of the time they walk away and say, you know what, I'm going to go buy a camera. I think I'm going to do this. I like this. So that just says me that I've just turned them on to something new that they can do in their life. And that's very rewarding for me. So anyway, that's me.
Well, not quite. You had a little job during Imaging USA, actually running the gala and the late night lounge, which was superhuman effort on your part. Amazing if you enjoyed the beautiful decorations and pretty much everything about the gala and the late night lounge. This is a lady you have to thank for that. She did an amazing job. Just absolutely, as I said, superhuman. So
thank you. I loved doing it. As you know, I love creating stuff. So coming up with something new every year is a little challenge, but it's been easy, you know. Last year, of course, I had Leslie Kitten. So I was her co-chair. And of course, I learned a lot from her. She's a great teacher and just passed the wand and everything else to me. And so I just went with it. And then every year I'm trying to coordinate it around whoever the president is. And anyone want to come on and volunteer and help, please send me. I'll take any volunteers. And so the gala and the late night lounge is, I love doing it. It is a lot of work. I will not make that a small thing. It is a lot of preparation and work. And I'm also chair of the service awards with John Harrell. And John Harrell does a lot of that. He helps a lot because on the backside of that, he's also helps as far as the website, helping everybody get their service points so they can earn their service medallion for all your hard work for volunteering. And we couldn't do any of these jobs without all the volunteers. So thank you for everyone that does volunteer for all these positions. And I will become the liaison for service awards this year, and I'm going to pass the baton off to Tony Harriman. So Tony's going to take over that as the chair, and John will stay on as co-chair. And then they just holler at me wherever they need anything else done. Just, I'm always an open book for that. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Sharon. Speaking of beautiful souls that have joined ASP's board, Tony Harriman, how about you? Let us know who you are.
Yeah, so I'm from Iowa, right in the middle of the country. And I did pick up a little COVID at imaging, which I'm well over, but it sometimes gets to my voice and and when I'm talking. But so I have a few degrees. I'm master artist, master photographer, CPP, craftsman. I'm a fellow in the state of Iowa, past president of Iowa, and been on that board for like 15 years, and I'm done with that now because ASP is another, board opportunity, and you got to kind of divide up your time where you're needed most or whatever at the moment. And I joined this board because when the universe gives you the chance to work with amazing people, you grab it and you see where it leads. And I'm all about following where the universe leads you. So I do a little teaching. I was told in high school not to become a teacher, and I think they were right. I should not teach little children, although I love children, but I love to spoil them and then send them off on their way. And so I should not, probably teach high school, but I love teaching other photographers because they're so excited about learning. And, when people come up to me and they say things like, you didn't change my photography, you changed my life. Like, those are the moments that are just like, oh my gosh, a chance to make a difference is, I'm getting older, and I really relish the chance that you can make a difference in the world. And I do a little judging on the side too, and make a little art. So that's me.
Excellent. Thank you, Tony, so much.
When she says she does a little judging, you guys, she is a PPA approved judge.
I was just going to say that.
Okay.
Thank you, Kirsty. Thank you. We are in the enviable position of having people be very interested in joining our board. And this year we have the wonderful Fujiko Yamamoto joining our board as our newest governor. Fujiko, let us know who you are. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. The more I know you all, the more I feel so honored to be here. It's amazing what you all do and how you work. I feel very, very lucky to be here. I learn every time, every meeting, every project. I learn so much. So I really appreciate it. And like Tony said, you have given me so much already. And I would like to say that I started as a volunteer. I remember when Sabina called me, and I had been at several meetings, these weekly meetings, and I'm like, what? Do you want me to help? And we found a spot for me helping Karen, and she's just amazing. And she let me do, she let me be, she let me share, and she made me confident to create some graphics for you. And I feel so good being able to be creative and to create something. So everything starts with the volunteer, and I invite everybody. If you have something to share, it's for good. These people are wonderful. And yes, so that's me.
You got a little experience on boards yourself, correct?
Oh yes. Yes. Well, yes. I would like to say just something about my name. Because I know many people wonder. My name is Fujiko Yamamoto. I am 25% Japanese, but I consider myself Mexican because my mom by herself they took care of us. So I'm Mexican, and 25% Japanese. And I love my name because that's the legacy that I have from my father. Yes, yes. So I have a marketing degree in Mexico, and I was working really, really hard at the time where men didn't allow women to be there. So I was stepping on toes, and then I got married. My husband got transferred, and I quit my job because of love. So there I am, going from place to place. And then I said, I need to do something. I put my own video business, and I studied film, graphic design, and web design. And here at the US, I had my web design business, and my clients brought me the most horrible pictures you could ever have. Like, okay, no. I cannot do that. I need to learn photography because I want to help them. So I found Dallas PPA. That is like my second family. And I earned my CPP because they inspired me to do that. I became president, and I love giving back. And then I finished my master's, and that's how I was invited to these meetings to meet you all. So that's in brief what is everything about me.
Thank you so much for we are so privileged to have two of the most amazing people as our super chairs. And these are board members who are non-voting board members. We didn't want to change the bylaws to add board members after getting some feedback from our advisors, some of the more experienced people. So we've added them to the board as non-voting members. Marissa Bellotti-Lavoie is one, and she handles our social media so well and so completely. We don't even have to think about it most of the time. And the other, she's right now in Florida, enjoying some sunshine and a bit of rest after imaging. And the other one is with us today, and that is the most marvelous, wonderful person on the planet, I swear. Mother of 5 boys, and somehow she's surviving and still smiling. I have 2. I don't know how she did it or does it. And her name is Renee Gage. Hi, Renee. Renee's trying to unmute herself. So.
Nope.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Renee.
It is truly an honor to get to be here today and welcome all of our new members to ASP, and always a huge thank you to our current board and our current members. Serving with this group of individuals is just beyond anything you could imagine. It is so fun and dynamic, and to be surrounded by people who are in forward motion, wanting to make our craft better and create friendships and legacies along the way is pretty special. So I am so excited to be one of the super chairs with Marissa. The ASP ambassadors, we're just a few years old, and we really want to reach out in a grassroots way to all of our new members, and for you to feel welcomed and informed and to be able to ask anything, and to know that we can be a resource for you for whatever, a connector almost, if you will, how to bring you into a group of people in the best place for you, because really we want you guys to shine. You all just achieved all these new degrees and accomplishments and are on cloud 9. And we want to be a part of that celebration and excitement. So not only are you being recognized for your achievements, but we are really, truly interested in what those are and how you got there and what your story is. And would love for you to share and become more involved in ASP in whatever way your talents and time make that available. So hopefully you saw us at imaging. We were handing out BOAs to all of our new degree recipients, which were really fun, and left a trail throughout all of, I would say the entire Gaylord was perhaps sprinkled with new ASP member feathers. And anything that we can do to help you, we have a ambassador team of, there's 10 of us total, and we are here for you. So again, we have a new member spotlight form that we've been working on and would love to highlight you on our social media page with Marissa. This also provides you with an opportunity to reshare, whether that be on your own social media, in a newsletter, or maybe just show your family that you did something super cool. A lot of times, the friends and family closest to us know that we're working towards something, but they don't always exactly know what that is. And we want to be there to shine that light right on you guys and make this a really exciting new start. And I hope you leave this our meeting today knowing that we are here to support you, and we're excited to see how you can make us grow as an organization as well. So, and I'm a master photographer and craftsman, and Ella is completely right. I have 5 boys that are super fun, and we just love to explore and live life. And my husband has been in the Navy for 26 years. So we've had the opportunity to live all over the country and travel, but we call Alexandria, Virginia our home. And many of the people on this board and our ambassador team are people that I've had the true privilege to meet as they embraced me into homes we've lived in as we've moved and only lived in places like many of you know, lots of military families for a couple of years. So thank you. It is my honor. And I am here as a resource. You can find me online or just email info and Mel will put you in my direction. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Renee. We could not do what we're doing without the wonderful job the ambassadors are doing. Connecting.
They are doing a lot of great work. I get to be a part of it. So thanks.
Absolutely. Every organization needs a cat herder, somebody that keeps people in line, kind of gives us continuity and works as our spinal cord connecting everybody with everything. And that would be our executive director, Mel Carl.
Well, hello, everybody. Yes, I am the official cat herder for ASP. I've been in the executive director position since June of 2020. I had the difficult job of following John Allen, who had been the executive director for years and years. So those were some very large shoes to follow, but it's been fun. I am a master photographer and photographic craftsman. I come from a background where I had 30 years in the accounting field. One of my major jobs was I was the accountant for a small band called Fleetwood Mac for many years.
Wow.
And then with that CPA firm, I moved on to become a CFO for several public and private companies for the last almost 25 years. So my background is accounting. I have a degree in accounting. So doing the background stuff for ASP was very, second nature for me. I am the executive director of Professional Photographers of California as well, and at also their West Coast School of Photography. So I love giving back and working with organizations. I was president of our local PPLAC chapter, and I've been on their board and still am on their board for what is now 12 years running on that board. So I'm almost becoming the longest serving straight board member for that group. But I love working with the photographic industry. And so being invited to come work with ASP was really a lot of fun. It's been a great experience, dealing with all the new people. And so if you have any questions or you have issues, if you respond to that info@ASP email address, that comes directly to me. Our ASP offices are located here in Valencia, California, which is about 35 miles north of downtown LA. So that's we're in a nice sunny area. I don't have to worry about snow or being snowed in like some people. Snow's not my friend. So anyway, so that's what we do here. And yeah, we do a little bit of everything. We're kind of behind the scenes of almost all of the committees and such. And we hopefully are the ones that, if you've got a question or an issue, I certainly pose it out to the proper channel.
Thank you so much, Mel. I'm going to tap Tony Harriman again to talk a little bit about her trip that's planned for Georgia. We have several travel opportunities coming up, and she didn't mention the fact that she's in charge of one of those. So why don't you give us a little bit of information about that, Tony?
Yeah, so next year, first week of March, going to take a little trip to the Savannah, Georgia, Tybee Island area. There's a lot to see. Savannah is my favorite city I've ever been in the whole country, or even a few countries outside the US that I've seen. It's just so beautifully planned, and that first week of March, everything is all green and blooming, which is not here back home. It's all dead and brown and gray still. So some of you get to see that all year, but I don't. It's right there on the ocean. It's not swimming weather yet, but it's definitely walk the beach weather, go out and catch a sunrise over the Atlantic. And, you know, there's some wildlife to shoot very close by there. There's Charleston, South Carolina is also just a few hours away. Several islands there. It's just, I've been there with the Iowa CPPs. I've traveled there like 7 times over the years and rented houses out on the beach and done this trip. So even after 7 times, I'm really excited to go back. So I think there's a little bit for everyone in that trip.
That's such a beautiful area. Charleston is one of my favorite cities ever to visit, and the food there is amazing. And I know Savannah's in the same area, same league. So they're only an hour and a half apart, which is amazing. So
yeah, it's really beautiful.
It is. It's just amazing. John Powers, you're leading a trip that no one else can go on right now, but let's talk about it a little bit because it's coming right up.
Coming up next month is our trip, overseas trip to Japan. We have 30 participants with this event. We're looking at doing an overseas event every year or every other year. So this year we're doing Japan. We have 30 of our members and spouses going over, and we're going to be there just in time for the cherry blossom season. I've been looking at the forecast, and everything is, we are spot on for the cherry blossoms. Now I was worried all for the last year and a half. You can never predict cherry blossoms. Can we make it on the right time and all of that? And we hit it right. Now I'm worried about, let's make sure it doesn't rain. I don't want it to rain and wash out the cherry blossoms. So there's always something to worry about. But even if we get the rain, we're going to have a great time. We're going to be spending several days in Tokyo. Then we're taking a bullet train and spending several days in Kyoto, and then taking the bullet train and spending several days in Hiroshima and a day in Miyajima. And then we're flying back to Tokyo for a day. And then we're taking bullet trains up north to Nikko, and then up into the mountains to see the snow monkeys. So it's going to be a 2-week. Of course, I know Christy's excited. I need to qualify. By the time we get there, which will be the first week of April, it will just be monkeys. The snow will probably be gone, but they'll be there in the hot springs. There's a couple of hot springs there, and you'll be right up close to get some very good photos. So that's a 2-week trip that we have planned. Everything's locked in, and we are set and ready to go.
Awesome. One of the other things ASP is doing is tag-alongs, which are very informal. There's no extra charge other than just a little bit of cost covering, possibly for lunches, stuff like that. And those are less formal. Dennis Hammond led one this past fall. The Bennetts led one this past fall. They were really fun to go on. And I went on Dennis's, and it was really, really enjoyable. I had a great time. So we watch for those. We've got some coming up. And if you have an idea where you would like to lead a tag along, let us know. We'd love to have them in all parts of the country. Speaking of retreats like Japan, we are in the planning stages for one more. John Harrell, would you like to talk about the plans for that? You're muted.
I would. We are planning a trip to the Canadian Maritime Provinces, which are off the east coast of Canada. And this will be in 2024. We're just beginning the planning. But if you want to kind of look at a map, we're looking at Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, there's Halifax there. And so we'll be hitting a couple of different cities in a relatively small geography. There's a lot of culture there. There's a lot of, fishing communities and, a lot of different things to see. So we think this will be an interesting and yet affordable trip to go on. It'll probably be sometime in the summer of 2024. We're trying to find out what's the best time to go and all the right places, and we'll be in touch.
Awesome. Thank you, John. That's pretty much the introductions. I would like to open it up for any questions you may have. Christy?
Tony, can you unmute? So my question to Tony, and it'll probably be for John too, how do people sign up for the trip that you're going to be hosting, or ASP is hosting, but you're leading?
Yeah, just through the website, just right on the ASP page. That's where they can go.
Is it up yet and ready to, can people sign up?
Tony's is.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to go sign up.
Yes, I know. It's going to be fun, isn't it?
And I guess it'll be the same with John Harrell's.
Yep. As soon as
Yes.
he has a date nailed down, we'll.
Right. As soon as we get everything nailed down, you'll be able to sign up through the website. You can find that on the website if you look at the events section, of the website. All the things there that get posted, lead you to a link to register.
Diana.
So what's the difference with what is a tag along? What is it? I mean, I understand a overseas trip or something, but
Right. A tag along is it's less formal, and it's basically, you pay your own expenses. You can come for as little or as long as you want. And somebody who's familiar with the area just leads you around to some place of really cool interest. For instance, in Ohio, when we did it, Dennis took us to a couple of different state parks, beautiful areas where we could do some landscape photography. And then we went to visit Warren Mott's Military Museum, where he treated us to a dinner one night and then gave us a private tour of his military museum for 4 full hours the next day, with him telling us all about it, which was utterly amazing, just fantastic. So, and it was just very informal. People came in and went out as their schedule permitted. And Dennis just, very informally, here's a nice place to photograph. Here's another nice place, and let's go eat some lunch or something. So,
yeah, so it's just like a day or maybe a short weekend.
It can be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, however long the person that's leading it wants to do it for.
And can we have Dennis jump in and talk? Yeah. So, Dennis is a past ASP president, phenomenal landscape photographer. And I just thought, for some of our new members, most of us know who Dennis is, but a couple might not know. We can let people know who we're talking about.
And Dennis also continues to serve ASP as the chair of the state elite and district awards and gold, silver medallion awards for us. So he's been a longtime supporter of ASP and continues in that role. Hi, Dennis.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
Dennis, can you elaborate just a little bit on the tag along, what this is about and why people would benefit tagging along with you, like I did with you in Croatia?
Well, tag-alongs are amazing little trips because, like they mentioned, they're informal and you can go at your own pace. There's no egos out there. I mean, it's just everybody out there having a good time. That's what it's all about. So. Yep. There it is. It's just fun. And by the way, you mentioned I was going to Croatia back this fall. Actually, we're going to Scotland. I'm taking a group to Scotland if anybody's interested.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were going back to Croatia and
No,
Scotland.
that's next year.
Got it.
But anyway, I love serving ASP. I mean, I've been on all the positions, been there, done everything, all these guys, and it's just a lot of fun. I know some people asked about doing a tag along in Yellowstone. We just got back from Yellowstone Park in winter again. And I know Mel has been on them as before, and they're just a lot of fun. Nippy, but fun.
Diana has a follow-on.
Okay, I have 2 questions now. So one was what if I just happen to be in Scotland, when you're in Scotland with this other group trip? you know, who knows? Maybe my husband and I will go golf there. But and so there would be an opportunity if I wanted to just do a tag along on part of that trip, or you have to be a part of that whole trip.
Unfortunately, my Scotland trip is just it's pre-sold out, and it's only for the people who are going, and we only got room in the coaches and things for so many people. So unfortunately, that's just for people in attendance.
Okay, and
for that one, but we've done others like with the Bennett's in Utah. The Ohio trip was just so much fun, and Tony's doing the one. Well, it's not a tag along, but the trip in Florida or the coastal area is so much fun.
Yeah. So is there a list on the website under travel or something that lists everything? And I guess these things just get added, you know, whenever they come up, they just come up at some time, just one will get added, or, I mean, it sounds very intriguing and like, you know, something you maybe don't have to plan for like a whole year in advance because you don't know what your schedule is going to be or what your husband's schedule is going to be or whatever, you know.
Forget the husbands, just come.
Yeah, just come, right? Yeah, just find a friend. I can ask Eileen. We live close to each other. We could just come, right?
There you go.
Yeah, we'd be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we literally had people almost drop in on the Ohio trip like last minute, and it was really great. So the tag-alongs are very informal like that, and you can go for. We had people that came in for just the visit to Warren's museum, and they skipped the landscape part of the trip. So it was great, and they'll be put on the website as soon as we have the details on anything that's coming up travel wise. So
and keep checking because we do have stuff coming up.
Michael has had his hand up for a while. Just
sorry.
I'm really interested in that Nova Scotia trip, John, because I've always wanted to go there. And Prince Edward Island is beautiful. I mean, you got a lot of Nova Scotia. They have a lot of like nice rocky shores. So I'm assuming that the site will have information on the Nova Scotia trip, right? Eventually, I know it's
yeah. Have you been there, Michael?
Well, I've never been there, but I think about it a lot because I do some research. You got some beautiful rocks up there. You got some beautiful shores up there. So I've seen good stuff, but I've never been there, but I always wanted to go. So
yeah, these are not sandy beaches.
No.
Yeah.
Don't you have like rocky shores up there? And
yeah, we're in the initial planning phases for that. So, you know, as soon as we have more information, it will be up on the website. And Diane, the one thing that you need to be aware of when it comes to the tag-alongs is those really just started like the middle of last year. And so we haven't done a whole lot of these, but we'd like to. So, you know, the initial ones that we've done seem to have been very successful. And so we plan to do more, but somebody's got to raise their hand and say, hey, I want to lead one of these. And, you know, and then, you know, the board takes a look at those and we kind of go from there.
Sharon, did you have something to add?
Yeah, I noticed James had put something in the chat box that he wants to lead one in Colorado.
Ooh, all right.
Would he get in touch with Tony? Tony is the chair for the tag-alongs, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I could do that. So,
get in touch with Tony.
There was a magazine here that said the Garden of the Gods is arguably the most beautiful city park of the United States.
All right.
And then right behind it is Pikes Peak, which you guys know that was Kathleen Lee Bates wrote America the Beautiful after visiting the summit. She actually went to the summit. Their wagons kind of broke down and they ended up having to hike the rest of it. And then later that week, I guess, she wrote the words to America the Beautiful. And when she's referring to above the, the fruited plains was Colorado Springs, and Purple Mountain's Majesties referred to Pikes Peak.
I was there last August. It is beautiful. The Bennett's and Shannon Squires. So they all live there.
Yeah, so I'm in their group. I'm the sponsorship coordinator for the state group and for the guild for Colorado Springs.
Awesome. So thank you, James. Get in touch with Tony and we'd love to set that up.
Yep, and I can get all information on lodging for where people can stay. Maybe, you know, you can take a little bit of money out of the treasury and we can all stay at the Broadmoor.
James, can we recruit you to our sponsorship committee since you have experience?
Yes, I call. I'm a ambassador for Zenfolio. I'm an affiliate for the Skylum Software, whose main offices are in Kiev, Ukraine. So it was a little interesting. But they had several members from their European team, including Ukraine, were at Imaging, and I met with them.
Awesome.
So, nice. But I have a lot of software companies, and that, you know, I'm calling for our group, the Guild, and everybody wants to sponsor our Guild because we've been doing so well. I think we had 3 members from our Guild in the GIAS standing up on stage out of the 10.
Woo! All right.
So,
well, be expecting a call from one of our board members.
Yeah, so I'll get a hold of Tony.
Excellent.
Tony, if you can put your email address in the chat, that would be probably the best thing for me.
Thank you, James.
I just sent you a direct message, James, so I'll send it to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect. Eileen.
So new member business, Kathy Baker, can you put your PPA member number in just direct to me in the chat box? We've been trying to track you down to get you in our database, but we need that PPA member number.
Excellent. Do we have more questions about anything that ASP is doing? We're a little over our hour, but.
I know that I did submit a proposal for the Ricketts Glen State Park. I know that it may be eventually on the site, correct?
Yep. We'll be in touch, Michael, about that. So excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Well, I'm going to close out the meeting. I hope you all are more enlightened as to what an amazing group of people I've had the chance to work with these last few years. I'm sorry Karen couldn't be here. She's equally amazing and wonderful, and I know she's going to be a fantastic president this coming year. Thank you everyone for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you all in person at some point, and have a great week. Bye everyone.
Bye everybody.
Don't close it out, Ella, till I get my oh, good, Kathy. Thank you.
Okay.
It's aharding22@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you, everybody. It's lovely seeing you, and I will see you again next week.
Awesome.